gotta go and tell them live. Let's go. Here, let's go. Right there. Okay. Oops. Oops. Alright, so let's see here. Should be live, it looks like. Okay. Come on in, everyone. Welcome. Say hi when you get here. I gotta get to, let's see. Welcome, welcome, friends. Oops, it's not there yet. Refresh it. Happy Friday. There, I think we got it. I just gotta turn the volume off. Mute. There, we got it. Hello, hello. Oops, I don't have my comments here. There we go. Welcome, everyone. I don't see any comments yet, but it might just be me. This is what we painted last Friday. I think she turned out really cute. I'm liking her a lot. I'll hold her up there for you. I put some dots on her cheeks. I forgot to do that. Move it back a little bit. But I really like how the candy cane came out with the pink when we did the floating up into it. I really like it a lot. I think it looks really cute. On there, it doesn't look like I did it to the top one, but I did. It's just not as vibrant as the, you can't see it as well as the big one. So today, we're going to paint him, the boy one. And I think I'm going to do him in blue and pink is what I'm thinking. I thought about using a green, but I don't want to carry the green into his clothes. Even though the pink is in hers. Maybe I should do him green. I'm sort of undecided. I think I might. I think I will. So let me aim you down here. Let me get to the right place here. There we go. Less than a week till Christmas. Can you believe that? Wow. I'm going to get my... I didn't get my colors out yet. I'm running a little behind, and then I tried to get on, and I had issues again, of course. Let's get him rolled. We're going to paint him like her, which was honey brown. I had done, he originally had little buttons here on his shirt, and I changed them to the little peppermints too. I should really get a board, because there's some, let me see if I got one here. I did. I think last time I just put the tape on my, yeah, my tape isn't very sticky on my board. So let me get a little bit of tape and I'll put it on my table here somewhere. Where is it here? Grab it. Got some masking tape, but here it is. So I don't lose anything. I first came up and I put them together, and I was thinking there was a piece of, a straight piece that went across there. So I went down to the laser and I cut it. That was about 5:45 because I didn't have it. And I got down there, I was looking at the file, and it wasn't in the file. I'm like, what the heck? Well, here it was. It's swervy like this, the frosting. So, hi Sue. You didn't see the first one? It's still on the page if you want to watch it. You can always go back and watch it. It'll be here for till Etsy takes it off, which is like 30 days. After that, I do download them, and I'm slowly starting to upload to a YouTube page as I get time. I should over Christmas get more time to do that, but I haven't so far. And then they'll all be on my YouTube channel, which I haven't given anybody a link to yet, but I will once I get more on there. I've got like 6 files on there so far. That's it. Here, we'll stick these guys up here so we have them. was available initially in for a few years already. I've had this. I designed this guy. I've had it as a porch decor guy. He was like 30 some inches tall, and then you could get him in 16 inches. And I never thought of doing him smaller, and everybody likes smaller a lot. So I decided last week I'd make them smaller. And then I decided to change them up a little bit. So they're a little different from the original. They didn't have the peppermint candies on the holly and stuff like that. They had berries there. So I do like how these look, though. I like it with the peppermint candies a lot. I think they're cute. And you could use them after. I mean, they're not just really Christmassy. They just got the candies, so you could use them for quite a bit of the winter, actually. He's just got little bibs. I mean, they're really cute. I think they turned out pretty cute. Let's get nose out of here. We won't have to paint on your hair, but we'll have to do the face. Let me get a roller here. So yeah, you can always go back and rewatch it. Like I said, it'll be on my page here for 30 days. Then Etsy pops them off. Just deletes them. They don't want to store all that stuff, I guess, anymore. Now, reels, if I did a reel, that would stay. Where'd my roller pin go? Should have been here. Just used it last week. I haven't been up here, so let me see. I'll get a different one. See, I can't see it. It's probably here. I never find what I'm looking for at the time. And I didn't get up here far enough in advance. I was up here, but I called someone and was talking until I realized I was missing a piece that I needed. All right, let's get this stuff out of the way. We'll move this over. I don't want to lose. I got 2 of those by accident. So I'm just going to use my little roller here and get some paint, and we'll roll them. And this is just honey brown. I tend to use honey brown on gingerbread. I just like the color on them. I just think it's a good color. Other people use different colors, but this is what I usually use. It's the honey brown. And these bigger areas I tend to roll just because it's quicker. If I get marks on there or little bubbles, you can always sand them down. Which I don't usually have that issue. Once it starts drying, they go away. I cut some new Valentine's Day stuff out yesterday. And I almost painted it tonight, and then I remembered we were going to do this guy. So up here, I don't want to paint above his line. So, and his mouth is going to be, but we painted over the gingerbread with all of it, actually, last time. Even the white, I think we did. Yeah, so I'm just going to give him a coat here. Do it fairly light so I don't go in my engraving for the eyelashes. Oops. And that's going to get covered. So actually, I'm okay to cover this up here. To go into there to make sure I get all my... Otherwise, I was going to use a brush. But I don't need to. Because that gets covered with another piece. Here we go. That looks pretty good, actually. And then he's got a little hand here. We're going to do a little part of his hand. It's just a lot quicker. I'd rather spend the time on the details in that than on the base painting. It doesn't take... Oops. Get off of there. I gotta replace my tablecloth, my table paper here real soon. Alright. Alright. There, that looks pretty good. Let's give it a quick drying. If I need to give it another coat, we will. Yeah, you're more than welcome to. There's probably like 4 weeks of videos on the page right now. Like I said, they keep them for 30 days before they take them off. One is, I know there's a post insert on there. For sure yet. I forget what the other one might be Mr. and Mrs. These Santa Claus sitters, and they're really cute too. She's got these blue, I painted her with like a turquoise blue glasses on her. They turned out, and they just turned out really cute. They're just little shelf sitters. Are you new to my page, Sue? I'm going to give him a little more. I'm going to get a little more paint out. It does. It does. I agree. When you do in bigger areas, it does. I think it does too. And you sit there and work them out, you know. And I like to use water with my paint a lot because, you know, especially when you're shading and floating, it just glides so much better. And I tend to, if I don't use it when I paint, even a bigger area, you know, it's not the same for me. So I tend to use water with it, even though I wouldn't have to when I'm doing a bigger area, and because I don't want to spread like it does normally. And so then I end up with areas where it's lighter than other areas. So I like the roller. I really do on the big areas. And like I said, it takes less time. You know, usually when I paint, it usually ends up a couple hours anyway. Just by the time you get talking slows you down. And I usually talk when I'm trying to paint, and then I have to redo it. So, but you know, it's nice to. I don't mind showing you redoing it because nobody's perfect. There's only a couple I know that think they are, but most people aren't. Nobody's perfect, you know. So, and when I talk and paint, I screw up. So then I gotta redo it. So I take it off with the Clorox wipe. Usually, the paint comes off pretty good with that. And go on. You'll see when I try to paint in areas where I gotta go straight. I'll try to tell myself to be quiet here so I can do it straight and not have to redo it. But it happens. That should be good. So I'm gonna get rid of this roller. That's all we gotta paint in that brown for now. I'm gonna just dry him real quick so he's done. Okay, maybe we'll just do his highlighting right away and be done with him with the body part here and the face. We might as well float our highlights on there, or our shadows. I like to make the edges darker. There, okay. So that I'm gonna use burnt umber for that. If I can find it here. I don't have anything out here, so but it's pretty close. There we go. Paper towels. And I'm actually gonna get some of I'm gonna get that my palette paper out for I think it's called, whatever it's called, for floating, for blending better. So I'm going to grab some of that because that does work good. Better than the paper plate does. Let me get a sheet of that. I just have a couple of books like this. They're just paper palette, it's called. You get a Hobby Lobby, and it's just more of a waxy paper. And then it doesn't soak up your stuff like a paper plate does when you put water on your brush and you do some blending on it. It'll stay on, the water will stay there a lot longer than it does on a paper plate because it isn't soaking. It doesn't soak it in. It's sort of wet. It's like waxed. So I'm going to use that because it does work better. And then I can go back to it instead of re-dipping my brush. And I can go back to it to get more paint without having to get my brush wet again. All right. So his bibs will actually sit down. It's going to take up a lot of his body here. So I really only need to do the shading down here. Get him on there straight. And then off his arms. So I'll probably go up about halfway here so I know I'm good. I'll start up here. Whoops. And so you can see that the water's still on that paper with it. So I can just go back and pick up some more. And not have to re-dip and dry my brush off every time. Alright, I do like it a little darker though. And that's my preference. Alright, now I'll get some more water. Okay, I'll turn around. I think I almost have all my Christmas presents wrapped. Almost. I've got some for the one grandson that I picked up that I got to wrap, but I'm sort of undecided how I want to wrap them. I'm sort of thought about wrapping them so they're boxes inside of boxes. They're fishing lures, and I don't want to make, got them like 5 different ones, so I think I'm going to wrap them all separate. And oh, his mother said use duct tape on them, put some duct tape, or yeah, like duct tape or something, so they're real hard for them to get open. So I gotta, if I'm gonna do that, I still gotta do that. But last night I got the rest of them done anyway, which feels good. And next week I'll just have to worry about getting the rest of the whatever else I'm gonna make. I gotta figure out what I'm all gonna make with it. I don't want to do something different. I'm just tired of the normal, same old, same old. I'm making a ham, but I'm gonna looking for something different to make with it. Are you cooking? Are you you got kicked off the internet? We're having. Oh, are you? Where are you at? What state are you in? So, okay, I was late. I realized I was missing a piece for this guy after I put him together here. After I was talking to you earlier, and then I went downstairs. I had to go downstairs and cut it, and then it didn't want to let me connect on. So it took me a little while. So I was late getting on, about 5 after 7, I think. All right. And then you didn't see anything, I don't think, until his arms here. So we'll start right down here. Some of this gets covered up too, so I'm still going to do it, just in case. So I'm going across, though I'm not. Just the top and bottom will do. Oh, you got comfy. I see. I don't blame you. How's your kitchen coming along? Oops. Fix that there. I have to turn around. There. Some of this will get covered by the neck, the other headpiece, but I'm gonna get it done anyway. Get that off of there. So I had to run back down, turn the laser on just to cut the little, this part right here, actually, this little frosting looking piece, not that one, a little smaller than that one, but similar. Go down, turn it on just to cut that piece. I turn the laser on, turn the air compressor on, turn the water chiller on. Takes longer to do that and bring up the file than it did to cut it, because cutting it only took a second for those. I'll be done for you. You have to have the girls come help you. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff from that lady that does the pallets for me, so I got really good prices on it. So I got a ton of presents under my tree this year, just a ton. Usually they give me something they want, you know, and it's $100, so they get that, and then I'll pick them up just something little after that, you know, maybe socks or who knows, just a surprise or a shirt or something. But this year they all got quite a bit because of that, where I got it, which is sort of nice actually. It's all the same stuff they would have wanted, most of it, as far as I know. It is. Let me see how that's going to go there. That's going to cover good. I think I'm going to put it on there. I'm going to do a line underneath his neck here, right there. Yep. I'll do a little shading under there too. My one son-in-law wanted like a hitch trail to haul. Well, I think it's to pull trailer or an ice shanty or maybe a sled or something behind his snowmobile. So I picked them up. We got him that the other day. My husband went and picked it up at Fleet Farm. My daughters had told me what they wanted, so I got that earlier. One I still got. One wants a Costco membership, so that I still gotta go on. I can go online and buy that though. That's not too bad. And let's just go around the hand real quick here. And then we've got that part done on him. Grandkids, yeah. You know, when they're young, they like everything. But as they get older, my oldest now is 12. It gets hard. He's in 6th grade. It gets hard at what they want. You know, he got quite a bit of clothes. That's what he got a lot of, and he got like, and he loves fishing. He's really into fishing during the summer. So I thought, well, lures would be good. And then I got him these Govee lights that you can make like a, you can cover your door, go across your door, and they all hang down like a string. And then you can put any pattern into those lights that you want, any design. So I thought, well, that would be fun for him to mess around with, I'm sure. You would think. You know, I don't know. He used to like Legos and that, but I don't know if he still does that. Let's do the face right away. I think we shall. Let's do that, and then we'll have we'll get the, let's get the face done. That'll need white and black. And then we'll need, I'm going to use Country Berry for the berry red. Or berry red? No, I don't want berry red. I want Country Berry. I think for the nose it's more pink. Let me get it here. But yeah, they are. Especially when they get older, I think they are too. But they're little kids, I love shopping for them. Because anything you get them, they pretty much will love, as long as, you know, they don't have it. The youngest is 6, and he likes the dinosaurs and stuff like that. Where is it here? Let me find it. I'm not seeing it, but it's here. This one. Here it is. Wild Berry. So when he's still 6, he's pretty easy. You know, you just know what he's into. He's into dinosaurs a lot at 6 years old, and he in August, they had just come out with it. I went and hurried up and bought one. I don't know if they got hard to get or not. But it's a, it comes, I need a drink. It's an egg, and then it's got a dinosaur inside of it, and it cracks its way out of the egg. And it's moving the whole time. It's pretty cool. I watched a video on it when it first came out. And my daughter said, yeah, I'll have to get him that for Christmas. I said, no, don't worry about it. I'm going to get it right now. And then I'll have that for him. And so I actually found it at Kohl's back then. I don't know. I never looked after that to see if it got hard to get or not, to tell you the truth. It could have. I don't know. I figured it'd be pretty popular. It'd be one of those toys that you're not going to be able to find. And I never really, I don't watch TV at all, so I don't really know what's hard to get and what's not anymore. There, we'll leave that like that. That's probably all we're going to paint. We'll use some berry red probably when we do his lip too here in a minute. Let's, I think I'm going to try to, I'm going to do a little bit of shading under his eye, by his eyes again too. I'm going to try to keep it fairly light. So I'm not going to get no more water here. Come through here. It's a little darker than I think. No, this don't look too bad. It's real light. I'm going to keep it really light, like I said. I did it on her, so I sort of want to do it on him. And I'll go here too. Yeah, I need a little water. I've got my bedroom finally cleaned, you guys. Oh my gosh. It's cleaned. I gotta go. It's not done yet though, but I took out all the clothes that didn't fit me anymore. I bet you I had 15 garbage bags of clothes. I had that many clothes. And I never had anything to wear because I never could find anything. Oh, I was finding stuff that, I mean, it's brand new. So my daughter took it, and she listed it on Marketplace, and she sold the first time she took some last Wednesday, I think it was, or Thursday. She took like 4 bags. 2 of them were the great big black ones. They're great big bags, and it was all the stuff that, it was a lot of the stuff that I would wear more but I didn't know, there was a ton of brand new stuff in it, put it that way, a ton of it. If I can get that right, let me see what he's doing here. I'm gonna get a little more. And she sold that right away. I think the lady's actually coming tomorrow. But she kept track. She had like 47 people contact her on these clothes. So I cleaned the rest of my room up this week and got it done, which I needed to anyway. And I must have taken out, like I said, another 12 bags out of there. And I had jackets I hadn't worn and all kinds of stuff. But a lot of it was all too big for me now. And so she's got people coming like almost every day till through Monday to look at it. So who knows how fast it'll all go or not. But so far it was really going. She had a lady that was taking the jackets. I'm going to just leave that like that. I'm going to take a little bit off with the brush. I'm going to make sure there's no lines here. I'm just going to leave it like that for right now and see what it looks like. I have a little bit more in the nose, so. Right here. Just don't want it too dark, but see what it looks like. It's still in over here very good. So yeah, I was surprised that many people were interested in the clothing. I never look on there for clothes, you know. They're older. Okay, my oldest grandchild is in college. Yeah, it's nice to send them money once they do get older, and they can just go buy what they want. Yeah, I agree. When it gets hard to buy for them like that, I think that is the best. To give them gift cards and let them go find what they want. And you know, I remember I used to like that myself, getting that, and I could go get, you know, buy exactly what I wanted for clothes, and usually it was clothes. But I'm gonna get a brush here for the eyes. I think I'm gonna get a little one to go around the edge first. Let's see here, one of these guys. These are just little nail brushes I get off of Amazon. I do have if you're new to Sue, there is a link in my featured area on the top of my page to my Amazon store. Because everybody always asks, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? So I have a link up there, and I just put everything on there that I've used over time. And these little brushes are on there, and they're great for doing, I'm going to be quiet here pretty quick, for doing areas like this where you want to get a nice line. And then I'll go back in and fill it. Right. I find it easier this way sometimes than just using an angled brush to get it. Especially in here now, it's thinner. I better be quiet or I'll be making a mess. So you'll find lots of things in my links that I use. Yeah, I probably could take yeah, I probably could do that. I have some dinosaur ones. There's some coming out for not Valentine's. There was ones for Christmas on my page. They're dinosaurs. For the interchangeable basket. Those are on there, and I could have put them where they're like pop-out ones. I mean, if you want something like that, just send me a message on Etsy. And I can always make something for you. I probably won't list them. I've got like 2,800 listings on there. And I've been sort of trying to weed out stuff that hasn't ever sold. But I haven't been able to get back to it again. But my website actually has a little bit more on, because if I took it off of Etsy, it's on my website. But now the app I use has it so you can match your listings up between your store and Etsy. And it always did do it, but for some reason everybody had a ton of them that weren't ever linked to each other. So now I'm in the process. There's 10 pages of listings with 50 listings on each that aren't linked to another listing between Etsy and my Shopify. So if you make a change to one, you've got them both. If they're linked, you've got them both there to make the changes to, which is good. You don't have to go searching for the other one, and you know. It's an app I use, and I gotta get them all linked now. Is what I was working on last night a little bit. When I get time at night, it's usually late at night, usually like 1 o'clock. I'll sit and do a little bit of it. That, or I update pictures or with colored pictures that we have, but I'm hoping to get a lot of that done after Christmas here, when in between visiting people, and I do still have orders that I'll be going out, but okay, my Etsy was messed up last night, and I called Etsy, and I wasn't too happy with them, but I what it was is somebody contacted me that they ordered something and they wanted to cancel because it said that they wouldn't get it till the middle of January. And so I looked at the listings and it said anywhere from January 1st to January 19th. And I'm going, well, January 1st is right because I think I had my processing time at 8 to 10 days. And so that was what it was. It was that many days out. That would be the earliest you get, and it was a day after that. But then the 19th, you can't tell me it's going to take the post office 19 days to deliver anything anywhere. And so I got a hold of Etsy and I'm like, why is it doing this? Well, the lady, and they called me. The lady actually tried to tell me that part of the, when, the listings all have the estimated ship date in, that they put in the processing time, but the Postal Service puts in the, how long it's going to take to get to the person. They add that on. That gets added on in the software somehow. So they had no control over that, she told me. I'm like, really? So, I got frustrated with her. I'm like, well, I can look at others because she said, well, it may just be because of the holidays that they're getting behind. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll look at a listing I shipped out 2 days ago and it was delivered already. So it's not the weather up here. It's not Wisconsin. She tried to blame it on Wisconsin. Whatever she could blame it on, she tried. So, when I got off the phone with her, that's basically how it ended. She was going to write a ticket in or something, and I would never hear anything about it, And I decided to set up different shipping profiles, and there's shipping and there's processing profiles, they're called. So I set up new ones of both, and then moved everything into them, and then guess what? It worked. So it wasn't the post office. I just love how they blame it on someone else. And I told her, I said, I've been on Etsy for 3 years now. I said, it never does this, even at Christmas time. As if I ever had it where it's going to take a month for somebody to get it. For the day they ordered it. They ordered it the middle of the month and it had the latest estimated delivery date was, that same date the next month. No way. Now, if my processing time was 3 to 4 weeks, yeah, I could see it, but not with 8 to 10 days. So, I told her, I said, I've been on here like 3 years. I said, I've never seen this. When I got done, my husband was sitting there. When I got done on the phone, I said, I should have asked her how long she's been with Etsy, because she probably hasn't even been there a year. Probably doesn't even know what she's talking about. Because I ended up fixing it myself then. But I thought maybe they knew there was something was going on maybe with the software, and that it was doing that. And maybe that's why I even contacted them. But half the time it isn't even worth contacting them. I mean, a lot of my sales come through there, so I like selling on there and everything. But if you're going to have support, they could at least know what they're doing, Okay, we're going pretty good here. Now that little line I put underneath the mouth is new. And this is what I did. If you look at her, I gave her a lip under there. So she'd have a lip. That's what I did. I don't know if you can see it real good. So that's what we're going to do with him too. And then I just sort of highlighted it with white to separate him. And I made it a little darker red too. I can see it a lot better in person than I can on there. I'm going to dry that before we go on. Wash my little brush out. Oh, we need to shade around the face. We'll do that next. See a couple little spots I can put a little black too. Okay, when you go into support now, you have the choice of them calling you back, or you can chat with them. And I'd usually chat with them, but I did not want to. I have such a hard time typing because my fingers are, with this arthritis like in this finger, it's really hard to type. I have a hard time. And I used to be able to type so good. I get frustrated. So I thought, I'm going to just call. And even talking to her though, and I thought maybe they'll understand what I'm getting at more better if I'm talking to them. Nah. Nah. I can't say that. Even though she went in my account, she's seen exactly what I was talking about. I kept trying to explain to her, this is not, nobody else's listings are like this, that have that big of a period in. And I even, when I got off the phone, I went and looked at yours, Kay, and yours didn't take a month to deliver. And like I said, I had my processing time at 8 to 10 days. There's no reason it should take until January 19th. Yours we're getting to the people by the end of January. You must have a shorter processing time than I do, but I have enough orders that I can't go any shorter than that. I got my pre-made at 1 to 2 days and it's out of here because that's done already, but not the rest of it. I have to cut the order. And I sort of want a little break here over Christmas if I can, so that keeps them out farther than that. There. I was going to change my processing time to count Saturday too, but I had it at first that way and I decided against it because then they're going to give me orders for Saturday. And I like to use that to get Mondays done or whatever, you know. You can't get Mondays done on Monday because they can't ship out. So they got to get done before that. Yeah, okay, let's go around the outside of the face. I'll just do a little bit on there too. This should all be pretty dry now. So I thought, yeah, so I told a lady that contacted me during the day on Etsy. I said, my processing time is only 8 to 10 days. I said, I have no idea why it's saying that. And that was in the morning, so it was finally in the evening. I stopped what I was doing and got on it. Started looking at it. But yeah, so I had to just move them all from one shipping in profile to another and one processing profile. And thank goodness that, I don't know if you can do bulk edit like that on Etsy. Maybe you can. But I use a different software for that, and it's so easy. Just hit a few buttons and it changes them all, thank goodness, because with that many listings, if you had to do them one by one, But I do think Etsy does have some kind of bulk now, but I never use it. No, I use that other software. Why use it? It's a lot easier, the software for listing stuff, than it is doing it directly within Etsy, I think. And especially when you get a Shopify store too, it connects them both together. So like my orders all go into my Shopify store from Etsy and I process them in Shopify. Even though they're paid through Etsy and the rest of it, that don't matter. They all just, they're all in my, and then all my, I get all my sales in one place. So that works good too. Otherwise, that Etsy bookkeeping is a nightmare to start with anyway. All right, I need a drink. I know, I was not happy. I'm like, you're wrecking my sales right now because nobody wants to order because they're thinking it's going to take them a month to get it. And that's a lot of times it is that long for me, especially from August to the end of November. But then now I can cut it down, when I start catching up more. All right, let's do, I think I put a little bit of this actually under her lips here. So we'll do a little bit here. I need water. Put that up. Can you guys hear that whatnot I have playing on my phone over here? It's pretty low. I'm not even really watching it. I don't know why I have it on. It's actually the seller I watch it on. That's why I turned it on earlier. But I do that with the laser too. I'll have it on. Something. It's my noise, I guess. There, we're gonna go leave it like that. I guess I should go around it. Actually, let's go. Okay. It's me. There. Hi, Billy. Welcome. How are you, girl? Oh, I had a customer, I won't mention no names, that got a hold of me yesterday, or 2 days ago, I think it was actually. she ordered that a Happy Fall license plate and insert for the truck. And I don't think she'll be on here, so I don't think I have to worry about it. But I'm just going to explain to you guys what I said to her. But I don't think she's here, so I think I'm okay. If she is, it happens all the time. You know, it's different stuff all the time. But let me see that lip. I don't like the lip right there. Anyway, I cut her when she got her kit, and supposedly she painted it all already. And it was supposedly a gift to somebody. She was gifting it, but it was just the insert she bought. She didn't buy the truck. So anyway, oops. Okay, let me be quiet. Go above it a little bit here. Yeah, that's better. When I put it onto the laser bed, I must have moved some letters. I moved the fall, so it just hit the tip of the license plate. The fall was here, and the license plate was underneath of it, the big panel. So the bottom of the F hit into the license plate about, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 inch. And I put a hole there, and I want it replaced. I wouldn't blame anybody for not. And I never caught it when I cut it, that they were hitting each other, or when I packaged it. I don't know, I pick it up, I don't always catch that. I don't sit and take every little piece and go, oh, is it okay? You know, I'll never get no orders done if I do that. So anyway, I told her what I tell other people is I'll send you replacement parts. You know, that's fine. And I mean, I don't mind doing that. I'll send you replacement ones. And then she comes back with how she had it done already and it was ready to go for a gift and she was just going to leave it like it was. Could I give her a partial refund or a different kit? I said, I'm like, no, my shop policy is I replace the parts needed for the item you ordered. Well, she wasn't very happy with that. So she came back today with something like, well, you know, you would think you'd go out of your way to help customers. And she had said how she paid $20 for this insert. How you go out of your way to help customers. And I think I do. I do whatever I can do to fix whatever. If it's my screw up or even if they need a piece that they screwed up, I'd help them. You could at least give me free shipping on my next order or something. I typed her a letter again. I had ChatGPT help me. And that our policy is to replace them. It's not fair if I do something different for one person than another person. We replace the pieces that were incorrect or missing or broken in your kit. You shouldn't have painted it that, you know, it's... But anyway, and I said, as far as free shipping goes, this kit you paid $9.74 for. Now, I got to pay Etsy out of that. I got my price of my wood, my box, my tissue, all the work involved in putting that order together. I said, and now I'm going to pay $5 to ship these pieces to you back. I said, I have a zero profit on this item. So no, I cannot offer or give you free shipping on your next order. And that's the honest to God truth, you know. I gotta get this straight. I got a little bit to fix there already. You know, and I mean, just looking for, a different kit. I thought, no, you don't get a different kit because you're going to live with the kit you got that, you know, the pieces were cut into each other. I don't think so. I'll replace what you need to be placed in that order. Oh, Lisa, I'll have to talk to you privately. She watches me like a hawk. She's probably on here. She's got no life, I guess. She has nothing else to do but watch me like a hawk. So, oh, did you see that in my header? I couldn't help it. When I was typing it up tonight, I put that in there. Seeing she's got to know everything I do and everything in my life that goes on, she can just get lost. But it was pretty funny, but I'll tell you about it later. I had some of the stuff come back to me that I said, which is no big deal. I care less. I did say it. It was the truth. I know, eh? Yep, I know. We hadn't talked about her in a long time, but when Tina popped on last week, I think that came up a little bit. Because I think I said we haven't really been. I don't think you've been on here much since I almost peed my pants that night. Taught laughing so hard with you guys. I had my legs crossed, that's for sure. Whoops. There, see, I go make a mess when I'm talking. We'll get it. She's a piece of work. She really needs to learn to mind her own business and get her own life and work on her own stuff. Instead of worrying about somebody else and copying other people. I'm almost going to get her out. She's stalking me is what she's doing. I'm going to get an order against her. I'm real tempted. I'm going to talk to my attorney about it. I was waiting for him to call me. Because I've got her blocked. I mean, she's blocked off my pages. So she's using an alias, and that is totally illegal. I don't think Facebook likes it either. If they know you do that, they'll kick you off. That'd be a good thing for her to get kicked off of Facebook with her page and everything. Seeing she's so worried about everybody else. And nobody said anything about my title. You're the first one. Not everybody knows about nails, but a lot of you do. Especially those of you that got banned for no reason. The only people who ever comment on her are her husband or her sister. Alright, on her post. She doesn't have no life. She's totally jealous of me is what it amounts to. Somebody was telling me that yesterday. That's her problem. That's the reason she hangs on to it so much. Is she's totally jealous of what I have and she don't. Well, go to work, lady. Whoops. It's just sad. It is sad. I tried laughing. Did you really? Did she block you? Remember when with that nail stuff, when that was all going on? She blocked like everybody. That was on my live that she could see chatting in my live. She blocked from her page. Kay's husband even got blocked. Yeah. I'll have to call you after the live and fill you in. There we go. That'll work for that. Let's see. Let's get that tongue and the lip done first. I'll do the tongue first because I'm gonna use the country red there. It's drying up here on me. Let's see. Let me try this brush. It's probably too big. It might be a little too pink. What do I use on the other one? I got more red. I'm gonna put a little red in there too. Is what we'll do. Oh yeah, we'll just have to do a Zoom so she can't hear everything we say when we want to talk. It's really sad that, you know, on your own Facebook page, you gotta watch what you say about, and you got some stalker after you. But if I looked like her, I guess I'd be stalking somebody too. I was like that one. We're gonna use that Elizabethan Crimson. Yeah, she did block you. I thought so. She blocked Kay too. But yeah, that was true too. If I looked like that, forget it. I'd be hiding. Alright. Not everybody can be a perfectionist, you know. So this is going to be the part of the lip that comes down, is what we did on the other one. I'll probably just put some more colors in it, so it's not so red. But I did want it a little different than the tongue. But you know, if you don't want to hear what I say about you, don't be on my page. It's the only reason we talk about her is because she's on my page. You know, only reason. Otherwise, I'd care less what she does in her life. Got a little bit of, there ain't much in my brush here of that other red. Just to brighten that up a little bit. Or bring it not so bright, I guess. Alright, and then I'm going to go down here with the red. Give it a little bit more, I think. Right at the bottom, a little darker. Alright, and then I'm going to take a little white. I hadn't been on her page in like since we all talked about nails because I can't stand to listen to her in her lives, that voice. It just drives you crazy. It's so slow. Okay, let's see. I'm going to give him a little white on the tongue too, I think. I'm going to make a little swish back here. That don't look too bad. I think I'll leave that. Get that a little bit better here. But we don't say no names, so who knows who we're talking about, right? Yeah, I know, exactly. What's that? It's a keyboard, yep. I mean, she was kicked out of Chris's group. Stay in Iowa, Ohio, or whatever state she's in. Stay there and mess with your own people. Buy your own house, you know, she don't even own a house. She rents. The rest of her family lives in trailers. That's why I call them trailer trash. All right. Let's see. I'm going to give that nose one more coat. Nothing against people who do live in trailers, except that one, that part. Otherwise, like I said, I don't care who's who, what you have, what you don't have. It doesn't matter to me. Just earn it. You know, you get what you earn. Don't try to steal from others. All right. We're all capable of doing anything we want. And if you make a mistake and sell something like she did, that's her fault, not mine. There, we got our switch on. We're going to put his nose on right away. Actually, I think I'll do the white dots right away, and we'll be done with those. Let me get that bigger dauber I had, too. We'll have his face done. It looks pretty cute. We should give him a little cheekies yet, though, too. So let me find that. Excuse me, dauber here. Did you guys see the Christmas picture I did on my Facebook page? I did take some people off of that because of that, what's going on with her. I don't need her creeping on me, so I blocked anybody I didn't know on there. And some of you, if I didn't recognize the name, I may have taken you off. You can friend me again. But I did post a picture, a Christmas one, that everybody started going viral on Facebook. I've seen Tina did one tonight, too, I seen her. And she's commented on mine. And then I commented on hers. I was going to comment on hers, and I seen she commented on mine. I do too. I wish Chris would just sue her. Hire an attorney like she hired. That's what I would do. One that works on commission where it don't cost you anything. But I still think when you do something like that if you do go to court and you go all the way and you're found innocent, they should have to pay everything. Because it's their own fault. And I truly believe I win if I went all the way. But who's got $100,000 to do it? And that's why the lawyers work on commissions. Because they know somebody's not going to spend the average Joe Blow $100,000 to fight it. Who can afford it? She can't afford nothing, actually. And she got an attorney for free, which is stupid. Mine cost $45,000. Just ridiculous. The court system is totally screwed up, if you ask me. And she hires a law firm that's known for going after people for wrong things and things they didn't do and just try to get money out of them. Those law firms know, like hers that works on commission, they know that Joe Blow isn't going to be able to afford to go all the way. we'll drag them through for 6-8 months, and then we'll try to get them to pay us some, you know, $20,000 or $15,000 instead of paying $100,000 to prove your innocence. Well, that's so wrong. And the court should do something about that, I think. Now on her, I gave her another dot, a smaller one down lower. So let's do that. Right here. I'll use this other dauber. We'll do one in here. And here. I mean, who can afford that? Usually with copyright issues and stuff, it's usually the big firms, the big name companies, the Walt Disney and that, you know, those big guns that end up in court and stuff like that. And they can afford it, you know. I was prepared to fight it all the way, but my attorney always kept telling me, it's going to be expensive, it's going to be expensive. I said, but I didn't do it. She's the one at fault. I got a letter, I got a message with her saying she didn't put it in the listing. All right, we'll leave it like that. That don't look too bad. I guess let's put some rosy cheeks on. That's her responsibility, nobody else's. So I don't want to talk about her anymore. She's disgusting. Because she hired a scum one out of like California, I think it is, okay, that works on commission. And they're known for going after people. They send out thousands of letters per year to people telling them, you violated so-and-so's copyright. Pay us $10,000, take the picture down, and we'll let it go. We won't take you to court. And what they do is, most usually what it is people that take a picture off the internet and use it. Sometimes these firms are even known for putting the pictures up themselves and letting people go copy it and follow it by IP addresses. That's how they work. Like I said, it should be against the law for these firms, especially attorneys. But this attorney is even a debt collector firm too. They've got a couple businesses going on. I checked them out pretty good. But the funny part is when I got delivered, when I got served the paperwork, the server told me, you better get a good attorney because this firm is known for being bad. They what's the word? They're like sharks. And that's what she hired. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even in her own. She didn't even get an attorney in her state. You know, she looked for one that would do this on commission so she wouldn't have to spend no money on it. Which right there, I mean, if you were right, why not? Because I would have had to pay her legal fees. They could make me pay her legal fees. All right, we'll go like that, I think. And we'll give him his little dots like I did on her too. So his face looks pretty cute. All right. I don't know if you guys noticed when I did that Mrs. Claus with the blue glasses. And I don't think I ever pointed it out to you guys because I did it after the fact. But I gave her little earrings. Did anybody notice that? Oh, those are a little different. Nah, I'm going to make these a little bigger. I never get them the same. Not even like that. I gave her little earrings, and what I used was like these little glitter dots or whatever they're called, sequins or whatever. But I had red ones, and I put them on her little ears. And it turned out, if you look at the picture of her when she was done, I've got it. I mean, it's on my Etsy store. It's in there on the listing. And I had bought these thinking I could put them on the cheeks too, which I may still do one of these days when I remember to do it. Now I can't on these because I got them done. But they're sort of cute on things. Isn't it okay? I mean, the law firms are allowed to operate that way. It is a dirty shame. It's pathetic. You know, it should totally be against the law to work on commission, I think. Because unless it's I don't know. You know, if it's a rape case or something like that, sure. But then they don't want to do it, you know. This place hunts people down. They knew at the time when she filed that we had 2 houses. We had a rental. Well, she didn't file right away. We had the rental until the fall of that year, 22. We sold it in the fall of 22, and they sued me in May of 23, I think it was. So, but we had sold the house in that time period. So they thought we had 2 houses, you know, and they could see probably what our mortgage is, you know, and we got enough equity in the house. It's pitiful. They're trailer trash. You know, that's what they amounts to, going for other people's stuff. The law firms know better. Okay, let's get this out of here. So, actually, we could glue, let's glue his head. Let's glue, no. Yeah, we can glue their head on here. We still got to paint up here, but that's okay. I'm going to put it on there so it's there. It is a dirty shame. It should, like I said, it should be illegal. I believe. I have a cousin who's a DA. And I talked to her about this a lot, too. And, oh, I don't know, she just told me different things, but... Alright. And this is in federal court even, because it's copyright issue, so, I mean, it's just garbage. Just a bunch of garbage. We're going to put that nose on, too. But yeah, and like Kay and I were talking, there's another designer right now whose items ended up in Hobby Lobby and at Home Store. And she's suing those stores. But it sounds like to me that she sold the SVG to some lady, and this lady then sold these ornaments in bulk to Hobby Lobby or whatever. And you can't do that. If she would have contacted the designer, because that designer doesn't require you to have a license, but you still aren't allowed to mass produce their items. All right, these bibs, let's do them in that green, which was, let me see, I think it's this one I have out here. Yeah, it is. I think it was this green right here. And I think I'll dab them with the finger dauber, just because I don't want to get a whole roller out for that. Hi, Mimi. Is it Mimi? Hi, welcome. I just seen your name up there. Welcome to my page. We are paint. This is the little girl gingerbread we painted last Friday. And now we're working on the little boy. She turned out pretty cute too. So we're sort of making her to match. Him to match. And she's got the pink that is in the candy cane too, or the peppermint patty. So I'm going to use the green that's in there on his bibs. The original ones I did in a dark, he's got more of a lime green bibs on. So I had thought about doing these blue, but I want to make them around the same colors as her. So we're going to just do we'll just do it this way. And I can just do this pretty easy with this finger dauber. I may have to give it a second coat. I can even probably... There we go. We're just talking about some garbage I got going on in my life. That's all. But where are you from? Did you just find me on Facebook here? Surfing around, or... It's always nice to know. I know I'm in Wisconsin. Some of the ladies on here in Wisconsin. Some are from different places. Billy, where are you, Billy? You're in Nevada, aren't you, Billy? Are you the one that's in Nevada? I used to have somebody else out there I used to ship to, and it's always the highest. I'm pretty sure it's you. Even when we did like the monthly box kits, yours will cost me like $3-4 more to ship to Nevada for some reason. It's just a higher area is what it is. I mean, it's higher than shipping to Texas, California. It's weird that, you know, it would be any more money because it's Nevada. Were you able to make the flag thing for the big fence I asked for? No, Lisa, I haven't had time. I haven't, no, I haven't. I know you talked about it. I was going to look to see if I had anything, actually, is where I was going to look. If there's, did you find the page that I have all those fences on? I don't have any Christmas ones on there with it. I'm going to have to remember to look and see what I mean, I can do something really easy. It won't take much. It's just a real small fence. Let me try this real quick and we'll give it a little bit more. Rolling is faster, but you're in Austin, Texas. Wow. I lived in Dallas for a couple of years. Oh, did you? Okay. Are you the one with that got a lot of those turkeys, like 7/8 inch? And I think we cut them on the 1/4 inch. Is that you? Are those the turkeys you're talking about? I'll look at these of them later on when I get off. I'm going to have to call you anyway, so remind me. And I can look while we're talking even. Okay, yep, I remember you now. I sell lots of those turkeys, though. I still sell lots of them. Now I make them all out of MDF, though, is what I'm doing. And they have a stand that they go in. But yeah, I pretty much quit using the thicker wood on everything. I pretty much switched everything to MDF because it paints so nice. Everybody likes painting on it. It doesn't soak up the paint, you know, like some does, and you don't have the grooves in that other wood. And so we actually all like this a lot. Even if I have a bigger porch item, you know, like 28 inches, it's usually cut in 2 pieces, and then when you put it together, it's overlapped where the holes, where the slices are. So that reinforces it, and it still works good. As long as you're not putting it outside, but nothing's really made for outside. I tell them, if you're going to put it outside, you better seal really, really good. 2 or 3 times at least. I would seal it, you know, 2 or 3 times. Nice light coats, but yeah, I do sell a lot of those turkeys. I really do. People love him. And he's one of those different looking designs. He's not out really, he turns out cute, but he's not the cutest turkey that's out there. Put it that way. But Pickett sells him. And I think she's more primitive on a lot of stuff. And I'm not a real primitive person, so that's probably why I think that way, you know. That's not me. I like the cutie cute stuff. You know, and it's just another, you know, everybody paints different, and there's some designers I just don't like you know, how their designs are, and I just won't buy them. I don't buy them. If I don't like it, I don't buy it. But I did think those turkeys were cute. Decoupaged in that, and that's why I purchased that file. And I have purchased a few from Pickett, so she does have a few things I like. I'm looking for some different stuff that other people don't have now too. I found a picture frame, a collage one, where you would put your kids' pictures in from kindergarten on up. I thought was really cute. And it won't be that it had to be personalized, because that takes up a lot of time too. I don't like to do too much of that. Because it's back and forth with the person, and it's a lot of, you know, you're waiting to do it, and you can't because you're going back and forth, and you gotta wait for them to have time to answer you, or you to answer them. And I tend not to do that too much. Or either get it and you spelt it wrong, but yeah, she's super primitive. I think so too. But I got a turkey from her. These sitting turkeys, and they're pretty cute. I do sell lots of them. I got something else too. I got a couple of things from her. But her turkey I sell the most of. Even still. He's cute. And I like a lot of stuff like that is done primitive. I decoupage it. And then I think it's real cute too. There's a lady on Etsy that sells a lot of stuff that Kate has designed that she sells on Whatnot too, Kate. I've seen her on Whatnot. But she's not doing, she still sells other stuff on Whatnot. Not more, I think, antiques. What was I saying? There's a lady that paints a lot of her stuff, and she decoupages a lot, and it turns out pretty cute. But like those little turkeys painted, a set of 3 of them. There's a 6, 7, and 8-inch turkeys, and they're not real entailed. There's not all that much detail really to them. She'll get 50 or 60 bucks, and she sells them. She sells them. You like cutesy too? Yeah, me too. I'm that way too. But she does a really nice job painting stuff. And she does decoupage a lot, and she does a pretty good job. I was looking at somebody too the other day selling 18-inch door hangers. Well, you could get it in like 15 or 16, 18, or some other size, 14. And then she put they would just have like a middle section on it that was white, and then it had some words or stuff, and some had some little more detail than that. And she also would put a bow on the top, and you pick the type of greenery you want. There was 2 choices, and by the time you were done, it was $100 for this 18-inch door hanger, And she sells a lot of them. She really does. She sells a lot. She's got lots of sales. She was way up high last week with sales. I don't know if she had 200 and some sales. That's a lot. And if you're painting stuff, she's got people working for her to do all that painting, you know. And I'm sure they got the bows made up already and stuff like that. Then you could pick your color of bow out. Wow. But I'm sure it took her a while to build up that business too. There we go. It was light up there. That looks pretty good. Now we'll do some shading on here. We'll get the edges darker. Let me see what I want to use here. Yes, she sells a lot of antiques and whatnot too, is what she's been doing. But yeah, I agree with you, Mimi. I'm glad you came over and joined us here. That's really nice. I haven't talked to you now since we went through all that. I know one time I resent stuff or I forgot the stands. I don't know. I forget stuff. Excuse my reach here. What did we use on the... I didn't use the darkest shade on there. But I did have greens though. Let me remember what they were for the holly. Cactus, desert cactus. Let's see if I can find them here. Let's see. Oh, that was in Hoser. I put them all away. But they should have, I think they'd be in one spot here. No, that's not it. I got 3 things of greens on here. I got lots of green. I need more blue like I got green. A lot of Hauser. That's not it though. Desert cactus is here. And then we used, what did I use? I used a deep green too. What's by here? Hauser dark green? No. Avocado was one. What's this other one here? Maybe that's it. That's thicket. No, we didn't use thicket. It was like aloe. That's what I think it was. There's aloe. But I don't want those colors for his pants. That's totally off. So, let's see. Let's see where I want to go there. We didn't do any highlighting on the candy cane with the dark color either. Let me see that green. I wonder what it would look like with a blue. Probably not very good. Let me see. That's sort of a harder green to find a darker color to go with. I was thinking of putting this with it. I think it might look cute, though, to tell you the truth. Should we try it? I think it might look cute. Otherwise, this one maybe. This one would look better. Let's try this one. What is this one? This here, my green I'm using is from Anita's. That's a citrus fruit. But this here is Till Mint. It's called from Deco. Let me open it up and shake it once. I don't think that might be okay. The lady that owns, she's a nice lady. She owns Pickett's. She's a designer. She's on Etsy, and she's got a Facebook page. She does painting and stuff. She says it like it is. I like her. I like her. You know me. Oh, we're gonna paint this too with this green before we do this too. We got his cuffs. I think I'll do those. Let's see. Let's get this green done on this pocket. Oh no, pocket's not gonna be the same color. It's gonna be pink. It's gonna be pink like the girl's dress. So we're okay on that. Let's finish him up, this part. I think that's all we're going to need green is, yeah, just this. So let's do this here and see what this looks like on it. I don't know. I think it might be okay. Really add some color to him. I had thought about painting him blue anyway, so. Blue and pink, but this is a teal. Teal mint it's called. Mimi, you saw shows too, right? Yeah, I use mostly DecoArt. I try to. Some of the colors, I just don't, like this green. I was looking for a brighter green. And I had this citrus. I had theirs. I forget what it's called. And I just wasn't real thrilled with the color. So I ended up going, I still have lots of other kinds of paint that I use as backup. So I pulled this one out. It was more along what I was thinking I wanted for a green. If I was going to go green. I had actually thought about going blue first. So look the words. It's different on here. We're going to just leave it. Maybe I'll paint his pockets this color instead of the pink. We'll see. It might be, it's an idea. I think we'll go around his fly too, to tell you the truth. I'll get a little water. One show a year. Okay. It's a lot of work, isn't it? So some of the ladies here do shows. Lisa does, Kay does. They all go to shows. Kay and Lisa do lots of shows. Lots of them. But yeah, they're a lot of work. I used to do shows quite a bit. I used to do shows a lot. And then when I started, after I got the laser and I started doing more online sales during COVID. I started selling my stuff online. And then I was painting it all at the time. So I cut it and then paint it. And then I started offering blanks to people too. And I got to where I had to choose between one or the other. And I thought, well, I think instead of doing all that painting for people, I'd rather cut blanks. But now some days I'm like, no, I'd rather be painting. So no matter what, you're never going to have, But I wouldn't want to paint a ton of it. I'd rather paint one item and sell it like I painted it. You see what you get. Then paint for somebody and then have to wonder if they're going to like it. Or if they pick it out at my, they pick it out online from me or whatever, they know what they're getting. It's done already. Otherwise, I get super fussy. I'm horrible that way. And super, super fussy. It's not good enough, and that's just, so I like to paint one and then, I like to paint it and then sell it. Which is what you do at craft shows, but if I took orders for stuff, then I'd got to paint, it's not done. It'd be different online. It's not done yet, so then it's harder on you, I think. It's harder on me anyway. Yeah, I lived in Dallas when I was 17, 18 for just a couple years. But I did like it down there. Okay. So look bad. It looks different when blue, don't it? It looks pretty bright on my screen. I guess it is pretty bright here. Maybe we'll lighten that up yet too. Maybe I'll go back over it with some lighter green, with that green. Oops. But they'll be playful bibs, I guess. All right. But if I bring the blue in the pocket, then I think it'll go better, to tell you the truth. And his cuff's got to be a color down there. I can make the cuffs on his bibs here for blue too. Whatever this color is mint. It doesn't really look mint. I think I better. If I make these blue on here, and that pocket blue. Let's do the pocket. What was that? Outside shows, yeah. Yeah, yep. Yeah, even when I had wood, Kay, when I cut it out of wood, and you just cut more out of wood too, 1x6 or whatever. But enough wind and to come back, and it would knock it over. And then that stuff really knocks over. When it knocks, it's taking down whatever's by it for sure and breaking. So yeah, I agree. Outside shows are not as much fun as indoor. I always preferred the indoor too. Okay, let's do that, and we'll do the cuffs. He's not going to match her all that much because we'll have the same green, and the peppermint patties will do in the same colors, but the clothes will be not matching, but that's okay. This is sort of a pretty color, actually. I haven't used it before. This was teal mint, but it's sort of pretty. Sort of a bluish green, I guess. When I think of mint, I think of a soft mint, but I suppose if it's calling it teal, I guess it would be darker. I tell you, I do tend to stick with DecoArt. I've only done that in the last year or two now. And DecoArt has a nice chart if you ever need it. That'll tell you complementary colors, like for highlighting and low lighting, shading, for lighter and darker colors to go with it. Now, they probably never would have put this together. But if I ever have a question about what I should use with it, then you can always look at that, which is nice. I could go underneath it. I don't know if I'm gonna. I may not. Not with the. This pocket will sit here. Now we're gonna get the candy cane done. That's gonna be cute. I think it'll be cute. That won't be bad at all. I gotta get that off my screen. Yeah, I do too. It's sort of pretty bluish green color. It's a deep green. I sort of like it. I think I'm gonna do a little shading on where his basket's gonna be sitting here. Just give it a little bit of color there with the bluish green here, the teal mint. All right, especially over on this side. We could do some shading, highlighting in there, but with the lighter green or a whiter green. But I don't know if I'm gonna. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Maybe I will. I change my mind so much. Let's just go the whole way here, right up to there. And I'll just go up to here. There. Now I'll be underneath that a little bit. Add a little bit there. Let me get a little brush to do a little shading on there. I think I'm going to use, I do have a light green I pulled out. Maybe we'll try that. I've got this in cream coat. It's really light green. We'll try that a little bit. I think it'll be all right. It comes out of here. Oh yeah. We'll just get a little bit in this blending brush, and then like these brushes I have in my Etsy link, in my link tree link to my store on Etsy. I was on there the other day. I don't have a payment account, so I've never got paid a penny from there. But it's not like they pay you a ton anyway. I mean, it's way under probably $4. So I don't really care. But yeah, at least then you guys can find stuff if you want to use if you want something different than you have. And I think I'll go over here. This side, on this side over here and into here a little bit. I can sort of see it on there. Not a lot. Not a lot. I'll try it again. I might put a little bit of white with it this time. I dip it in white too, and then I'll swirl it around here. See if it does. We'll probably see it more, but yeah, I think so. Yeah, there I can see it. Just gonna bring it down on this side, I think. To me, the sun would always be over on that side, and oops, I want that line there. Yep, so I did it again. It must be heavy right there on the paint. Bring that out. Let's see, can I see that? Does it stick out? Yeah, just gotta get some more in here. I think it'll be alright. And I'll just put a little bit here. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it like that. Try to blend that out there a little bit. A little on this fly, maybe. Alright. Alright, we'll leave it like that. We'll leave it like that, I guess. And then, let's see. These guys are gonna go here and here. Let's see. I'm thinking about... What I did with the other ones, I put like little stitches going across there. And they're cute on it. I could do them in white, or I could do them, I was just thinking about pink, if I want to bring pink into there at all. But I don't think so, not in his clothes. I think I'm going to do them in white. Get some fresh white out. We'll do them. And I'm going to try that little bitty brush we used for the eyes. And see how it works. I don't know if it'll work good or not. I may have to take it off. You have to start over. But I just did little stitches like here. Just to add a little more detail. And I'll make that one a little bit longer so that this next one will be the last one. And that one's a little bit thinner. I gotta thicken that one up. There, I think that'll be good. Just adds a little detail, I guess. Just a little bit. It's not the straightest, but it'll work. Try to keep them about the same size, but and you can make them thicker than this. I could have used a different brush and made them thicker too. I have 5 on there? Yeah. See, that one got thicker. I think I'll make these guys a little thicker now. Sharpen that in. Quite a bit now. I'll probably have to make the other side thicker. Yep. Oops. Alright, however they are, they're going to be. It's like that. That'll work. I have so many brushes too, okay? I've got 1, 2, 3. I probably have about 6 containers up here full of brushes on my table. I do have them all sort of sorted where only one. I have my blending brushes in one that I use all the time. They're here. There's 3 over there that I never hardly touch. Very rarely, unless I got to paint a big area and I need a great big brush. But I got all my good ones that I use my angles over in a different one here. All right, so that's done. Now we got all this stuff. What do we got? Yeah, we've got the peppermints, which will be the pinks, or the green or pink, however we decide to do them. That little thing on his head, and the candy cane. So I think we're going to do our white. We got a little bit of leaves that are on the foot part. I suppose we could color that in first. No, we'll do the white first, and then I'll color up to that with the. We'll paint the whole thing's white, and then we'll fill the rest color in later. So let me get a finger dauber again. I'll be out of finger daubers, okay? I'll be ordering those again soon. I like those little brushes too. Isn't that teal pretty? It does look good against the green. I sort of surprised myself. I was sort of like, you think that's blue's gonna look good on there? I was looking for a color that would go around the outside when that's what I was thinking of, bluish. I got a lot of greens, but not that type of green. I didn't know sort of lost there on what to use for a deep green. I didn't want to go dark green. So I'm going to paint all these. I do have to be somewhat careful. I do have to fix my green on there too, because this has she has a straight piece that goes across the top of her pockets, but he don't. I'll show you here in a second what we're going to paint. Now that I look at it, and once I do that, then I'll know where to go there. Let me get my angle brush here. What it is this piece right here. Which one is it done? This one. This piece is going to sit right on here like that. So I got to bring my green. Oh no, I got to get green up in here. I'm going to keep that there for a few minutes. No, I should be able to. I got to go a little higher here and get my green up to where the candy cane would end there. And then I'll have to use a brush to do the candy cane too. So I'm thinking like right here. No higher than that. And then I don't think we can see any of this, but yeah, I could see up here a little bit. Now it should be covered. Now it should cover with this. Yeah, and the white should come down farther than here, I think. Now I'm just going to go all the way down and meet it there because I don't know exactly what's going to show. It's sort of hard to tell. And this over here, this little piece is going to be, it's covered, so I don't have to worry about that at all. That I know, so I won't. Same on this other end. This over here, that piece that hangs out there is covered up. Usually it's with, like this, with what she had there, you didn't have to really worry about the line at all because that was a piece that went over it all the straight across, but this one doesn't. This is drying pretty good already, so I'm going to give it another coat. Here we go. There, that should be good. I think there'll be enough white on there. You do the same. Yeah, I got a box downstairs too that is full of I'm gonna put a little piece of tape here, I think. Downstairs that is full of brushes too, but if I go down there to paint or just fix, a lot of times I'll take something down there if I gotta finish it up. Or just I decided to change something, I'll go down there and paint when the laser's going sometimes. Doesn't have a lot. I don't have a lot of time though when the laser's cutting in between. I really don't. But I'll use those brushes down there, so I leave them down there. All right, let's get these guys on here. I got extra now that I went and cut more, but this one we need. And this one. But then this other stuff's bigger, so we gotta paint this stuff too. And then we got the peppermint patties. We gotta do those too. So let's get these guys done. All this stuff's gonna get white. I might as well put these on here too. Excuse my reach here. I'm gonna grab them. I can just bring this up here, I guess. Right here. Here. Let's see. There. We'll get all this stuff done with white. When I do these smaller areas like this, it's just easier to dab than it is to use a paintbrush. If I got to do detail on them, then a lot of times, you can see how quick this is. I wouldn't be able to do it this quick with a brush. You know, it's just so much easier. And it also, because then if you don't put too much on these sponges, these I get off of Etsy or eBay. No, Amazon, that's the word. If you don't put too much, you don't get it down the sides like you tend to if you were using a brush on these little pieces. You would be pushing a brush around, and more than likely you're going to get paint running down the sides. And I don't know about you, but I prefer the sides not to have paint on. Now, that's not always possible. Sometimes a lot of times I'll take a marker and go back if I did go over and fix it. And then the other times I'll use a Clorox wipe to get it off. Because you can let that Clorox wipe will take it off even once it's dry. You just get it wet with the wipe and then you go back and do it again. And it usually comes off pretty good. So, and I found you can use like a makeup sponge too. I've got some on my Etsy and I do use them too. It depends what I feel like doing. And I use a really dense makeup sponge, and it doesn't soak up a lot of paint then, like a regular one will. And I paint them with that too, but I find the finger dabber to be easier the majority of the time. But if I was doing a bigger area, I did the finger dabber with the one, but if I would have been thinking about it, I probably would have used the sponge. They're a lot like, I think I like them better for bigger areas if it's too small for a roller. Okay. There we go. So these are quick. You can see how quick it is compared to a brush. And when I'm just, if I was doing the detail work, it'd be different. But for the base coating, it's a roller or these dabbers or a sponge usually. All right, get some more paint out here. I seen a lady with a really neat idea, and I meant to do it, and I forgot again. I thought I was going to do it Wednesday when I was live, try it, see how it works, and I forgot. But she used, instead of using a napkin to dab your brush off from the water, to get some water out of it, she used a damp sponge. Like one of those, like you wash dishes with. One of those just a new one of those. And supposedly it takes off less of the water and leaves more of it on it. And it doesn't dry your brush out. Because my brush, a lot of times I complain about it. It's such a small brush, it dries out so fast. I need more water all the time. All right, we're going to paint these guys too here. Let's get these done. There. These two we get. And I need some more white. So yeah, that's why. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you asked. Just ask whatever. It's okay. I don't mind telling you why I do what I do. It doesn't mean it's right, but it's how I do it. It works for me. Put it that way. And there's groups I've learned. I've been in, and I've learned that other designers. And sometimes they're doing the same thing I'm doing. You never know, but I was actually using, some of the, everybody, you pick stuff up from everybody from watching them. It's the benefit of watching other people, I guess. You're constantly, I don't care who you are, you're going to be constantly learning different ways and stuff. Everything change, you know, you learn different things all the time. And that's just life with everything. I believe. But yeah, I want to try the sponge ones for doing what daubing off your instead of using a napkin like I do. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it again. I don't actually know. I may have to go buy a new sponge. Oops, there's my paint there. I may have to. I took out some glitter paints or some of this kind of stuff I was gonna use on some of it. I never did do it on her, so I'm not going on her. This one, it's that glitter, colored glitter or something. I've got a bunch of that in different colors, different, and I forget to use it all the time. But it would be cute on some of this. Or the diamond dust, or I you know, when I'm with you guys, I tend to just get it painted and never think of doing that stuff. But when I used to make my own stuff all the time and sell it, I did. Okay. This little stuff like this, Mimi, is so much fun to paint. I prefer it better than door hangers. I think door hangers are sort of going out a little bit. I don't think people are selling them like they used to. I mean, that's all I used to sell was door hangers. That was it. And when I started doing this stuff, I wasn't liking it too much. But now that I've been doing it for so long, I like it a lot. I like the interchangeables are big sellers. They really are. I know I'm not sure they are for me. And, you know, people like to paint them themselves. And, well, I shouldn't say they're not. Because I had a lady, was it last year or the year before, all she sold was the trucks and their inserts. And she ordered, what was it? Remember that year, Kay? She must have ordered 300-400 truck inserts for me. Yeah, it kept me busy for a while. And then she had another one coming around after that. I'm like, well, make sure you give me plenty of time because I have lots of other orders too, you know. I've got to get out. So I think if you're going to sell in interchangeables, you got to stick with one thing. Like if you're going to do the truck, you stick with the truck. Because people get in your booth then and they're not so confused is how I think about it. Because if you start looking at this and at that and you forget about what you looked at over there, but if you're looking at all interchangeables for a certain item, like say the porch cleaners, you only do porch cleaners. I think you sell better, to tell you the truth. And if you think about it, it shows when you think about people who sold stuff like that. I remember seeing this lady that bought those from me at Cranberry Fest in Wisconsin up here. And her booth was packed all the time. And she sold a ton. She'd be empty by night and be replenishing for the next day. I think it's easier on people shopping, to tell you the truth. And that's what I was getting to when I was doing shows. I was going to start doing like that, and then I decided not to do more shows. Yeah. And you know, all the other stuff then tends not to sell as much. And that's what I mean. I think you're further ahead to specialize in one or two things and be done. You sell multiple different interchangeables. Yeah, if you're doing just interchangeables, I can see that. But, you know, now if you put your shelf sitters and, you know, other stuff with it, you end up, I mean, if you look at what I sell so much different stuff. And I see some people's booths and they sell so many different things that sometimes I believe if I was to do it again, that's what I would do. I would try to specialize in like one area of it. And it's not like you can't change out of that area. If it dies down in a few years, I would do that. But, I think it's, I don't know, you know, when I think of people at shows and the booths are packed, a lot of times it's that, I think. But yeah, everybody sees things differently. All right, a little bit more here on these ankle ones. And then we'll start doing the colors in here. This is all we got left, actually, is this, is this white stuff here that we're working on. There we go. That should be good. That should be good. We'll leave it like that. Let me just try these real quick. And then I don't have to worry about the white. I had an idea in our subscription group Wednesday night to do a variety of things because I like, yeah. sure, yep. You know, it's whatever works for you and what you enjoy painting too. That is very true. If you don't want to paint the same thing, and I shouldn't say that because I'm not one to paint the same thing over and over and over either. So I may have trouble if I was doing sales, doing a booth that's all one type of thing, because I would probably get bored. Probably got ADD or something where I gotta be, I'm not one for repetition like that. I get too bored with it. So I probably couldn't do it myself. I can see it, but I always thought, honestly, that those people did better. But, you know, that's my opinion of it. But like I said, I probably couldn't do it. We're going to use, let me see. I'm going to use, now on her, I did, on her, let's see how we're going to do this. I have to think about it. I did her big lollipop with the bigger area there in green. This was white underneath there, and then we used, we took pink and we edged the shading with it, but we walked it up into it. Same with here. This was more white. It looks a little whiter than the big other one, but it is pink in there. We did it red with the green lines. So on him, though, that's the same green that's on his pants with the color on it. I'm thinking I should do, I don't want to do, he doesn't have his bigger ones yet to start with. He's got 2 for his bib shoulders. And he's got, the biggest one goes in his top of his head. And these go on the feet. But I'm thinking I should do them, the big areas, in pink. I think so. I think that's what I'm going to do. And hers, she's got red ones here instead of, maybe I'll do them pink and red. I do like bringing the green in with the lines. We'll see. Let's do the pink one first. Let's do the one first. I'm still undecided yet. We'll see what works. I'm going to get, I'm pretty sure I used cotton candy on her dress because that's like my go-to pink. Let me grab it. I'll find it here. Where is it? Right there. Yep. That's the pink I use, is cotton candy. So I'm going to go with that. Thanks, Mimi. I changed her up a little bit from a few years ago when I designed her up. So she's a little bit different than she was, but I think she's cuter this way too. She had, they didn't have the peppermint. She had the peppermint in her hand. That was it. The ones on the top of her head and legs were just holly. And you get, I'm sort of bored with painting holly all the time, you know. So I thought I'm going to change those to peppermint, seeing that, you know, we'll make them with peppermint gingerbread instead. I'm going to get that little brush again, if I can find it here. I'll get a new one. Probably a new one. That's what I do it. Yep. And I'm going to get some of this pink. It's pretty thick, so I don't know. And I'm going to do the bigger openings. I can tell some of them are a little bit bigger than the other ones. This one's so hard yet because I haven't got it wet. I think I have to get my brush wet. Yep. Can you guys see here? Yeah. I mean, I can bring it down too. I can bring it down lower. Let me see. I always forget about bringing it down lower. I'll bring it down a little lower and over this way a little bit maybe. Let me get it down here first. There. See if that's better. Should be better. Now you won't get my head in there, my hair. Can you see where I got? Yeah, you should be able to see, I think. Yeah. We'll do this one. So this one is the biggest one. This one's going on the top of his head. And I know I want the ones that go on his shirt this color. Wrong one. See, I'm talking. I don't pay attention. I want the ones that go on the top of his bibs this color too. So I think I'm going to do them all this color. I think that'd be best. I don't want to make the leg ones different then. That off of there. There. And maybe, seeing I don't have green on these, and now I go and dip in the green. I don't have the green spots like where I'm painting this pink. Maybe we'll walk up the green color on them to make them sort of like hers, but just opposite. Here. That might work too. Okay, let's leave that one. I'll put a little bit more in a couple of them more so I don't have to come back and paint them again, I think. Just put some water with this paint because it's so thick. So, oops, and then I go over. Trying to get it off. It's gonna get painted with I'm gonna put a little paint with water with this paint. Where's my little sprayer? 1 second. It's so thick. Well, it should have been here. We used it the other night. I don't see it. Got too much stuff. I see it over there. I got too much stuff in front of me that I can't see some stuff. Let's do that. A little more water. There, that should work. Alright. And then I'm going to get this out of here because this is actually done, except for shading. This big one sits in there. So I'm actually going to take the finger dauber for a second here, and I'm going to paint that pink. Do I have one in pink? No, I don't. I'll give you one. Okay. Okay. There we go. So that'll be done. Then we'll take that'll be that. We'll take these other these little ones here, and I'll do those. And then the holly for the legs here, just get a little bit of green, and then we gotta do the candy canes on the shirt pocket and the in his hand. All right, again, I'm gonna do the bigger areas. Oops. And I got a little thick there. I'm gonna have to move a little bit of that. Oops, oops, oops. There we go. Oh, I gotta plug the battery in. How is it running low already? I never usually unplug my laptops. I let them charge, and this I know it's not good for them. And the one it told me tonight that I should let it run down to at least 85% before I plug it back in. So let me find it here. So I unplugged it when I got up here. That's not the right one either. Hold on. Let me get this one plugged in. There. So it's down really low. Probably would have died pretty soon if I would have seen that. The other ones I got plugged in, but that one was giving me a warning, so I thought I'll unplug it for a while. Actually use the battery instead of leaving it charging all the time because I know that's not good for them, but when I come to go live, I want them charged, and I don't always think to come back. I don't always get back up here. Get this one. Yeah, I use these little brushes all the time. I think these work great for stuff like this. And I have an even thinner one that I used on the eyes there to make when I did the stars in them. Even thinner than these. These aren't all really that thick. These are actually like a nail brush. I use them for doing detail stuff on nails, I guess is what they're called on there. You get a pack of like 100 of them for like $6. Cheap. I just throw them away. I actually don't always throw them away. I wash them in my paint thing here and put them back in there because they're really super easy to paint to get it out of them usually because you don't usually use them that much. I'm using them here more than I usually use them on anything. But an angle brush just isn't going to work for this. For me, it would be. You'd have to use a little round one, I guess it could use. I got those two. But I tend to go with these instead of even using those round ones. Alright, oops, I got a lot there too. Oh, that'll be okay though. Then we got another little bitty one here. Alright, so let's see. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use these on the top of the bed, so I got buttons up here too, but once I put it back together, I decided, yeah, I want to do these. because that's what I had on them before, was little buttons. And I'm not going to repaint them because we're going to, like I said, we'll walk up that green probably on them. So I won't need to add more color. It'll be good. Yeah, they're so easy for me to rinse. Okay, like I just rinsed it off in my paint on my water bucket. So easy to do that. You might as well keep them and reuse them. I do like them a lot of times when you first get them out and they're really hard. The first time you use them and they don't see like that. But that's, you know, not a big deal. I'm going to take that green that we used, this darker green here, and I'm going to put a little drop of water with that. Just because, well, it could be thinner for this part anyway. I'm going to just mix that up a little bit. I'm going to do some lines with it on the peppermints. So doing lines in that, it usually helps if it's thinner. Plus it was getting dry, so I'm going to use this really, really fine brush I have. You can see it here. And I think I got that one on Etsy too, and it came in a pack of 3 brushes. And I think it's on there. If you look for it and you don't see it, just let me know. Oops. Let's see. I'm going to try to get in here. I'm going to try to draw a nice thin line, but it may not work. Let's try it. However it turns out, it's going to work, I think. Alright, I may want it to leave it thicker. It might have went on darker. I guess it'll work. How does it look? Not too bad. That looks okay. It'll work. Trying to get thicker stuff here a little bit. Oops, whoops, whoops. Too much. Just leave them like that. They're not perfect, but they'll work. Oops. I like to usually turn things as I paint it because I think it's easier, but I've got it on tape. I tend not to do it. Whoops. That one's on the side. I think I'm going to do this one. I can probably move it. What's that? Frost. Shake it off. I can use this too. There, let that dry. Don't let me forget to go back and do that one. I like the line in them. I think it adds a lot, to tell you the truth. And maybe that way you can add another color. I've thought about doing it to the candy canes, but I haven't ever done it yet. I've thought about it. I'm telling you, we have too much there. That one didn't work best either. I'll go like that. I can always go back, put I can probably fix it up with a little white paint. Let's see now. It's probably easier than trying to move it or clean it up, or the other way is just go back with a little white in there. I'll probably end up with too much white here, I can tell, and I'll probably, no, maybe it'll be okay. Okay, this one here, I'll fix that right there. I think I'll leave the rest. Or I can get too fussy and I'll be redoing them all. Let's still want to, over here, was it good? Yeah, I think I'm pretty good. I don't see anything that really needs to change. I can leave them. Okay, so those guys are that far. I'm going to just give them a little drying, and then we'll put the green on them and get them done. Instead of coming back to them. Sometimes it depends what I'm doing, okay? Sometimes if I want them, they seem to, if I'm doing a line, but I didn't like it tonight when I was trying to do a line, though, either. But I used to always like when they were hard like that. But I don't know. Maybe I don't anymore. But I used to. Okay. I'm going to get some pink here. Green out of there. Not pink. I'm going to get some of the green. I'm going to see what we got here. Is this good yet? Yeah, it might be. I'm going to get a little more out. Because I do want to sort of blend it in up. I'm going to keep it fairly light again like we did with the pink. So you can always go back and add more. It's a little harder to get it out. And this stuff with water, it should be fairly light. And I'm going to want it a little darker on the edges again. And I might do what I did with the pink. It's just, I'm going to try just to do the green, this white area. Let's see. I added a darker pink to the edges, if you remember. I'm going to turn this a little bit. I can't do it at that angle. I'm going to take this here. Go like this once. Let me see. Oops. Get a different angle here for me. Let's go here. Oops. There goes one. I wasn't sure if I liked the pink one when I did it. I'm not sure if I'm liking these green, but I think they'll be all right in the end. I'm hoping. So I think what I'll do after the green, a little bit more in there. I might go over the whole thing. I'm going to go over the whole thing like we did the pink, the other ones. So it's going to change our pink a little bit, but not much. That wasn't much on my brush. And then I'll come back, I think, with the, what is called mint green or whatever, and go around these edges. Just make it a little darker. And I think that one don't want to stay on here. It rolls away. Like this. Let's see if I can get it here. Just a little bit on that edge. So we tie it all together. Here. Almost got it. Then it looks better. It looks better already. I think it does. In person. You guys can't see it too much out down there. It looks like I'll hold it there a little bit. You can see compared to the next one the difference in color. But that's sort of what the pink one looks like. Alright, so let's go back to that green. Get this other little button here. Let's just get them all done with the green. Alright, I'm going to go all the way around this time because I get it darker at the bottom here than I did before I go up. Let's see. Okay, now I just won't go back and get any more paint, and I'm going to just start spreading. These are really easy because they're so little, just like that. Now I get more paint, and I'll do the next one. This little guy. I only need it once because there'll be enough here for probably do a couple little ones. I'm just going to blend it. That one's going to have a little bit more in it. I can actually just take a little water if I want on my brush. Just sort of lighten it up in the middle here. I don't want to take it all off. Still want to keep it on there though. Alright. Oh, my stomach's growing. Jeepers. Hasn't done that in months. It doesn't usually grow. Okay, and then I'll just blend this one up in there. It should be good. And we got this one. Okay, one more. Then we got to do the other candy canes. And I'm sort of thinking we may do them somewhat similar to, but I'm thinking so. I should really match these guys too. Now we'll get some of that turquoise. I'm not even going to wash my brush. I'm just using the same brush. Just a little on this one, probably on the outside. There. If I could turn this, it'd be so much easier. That's why I tend not to use tape, because I can't maneuver it, let you know if I was holding it, even though I get more full paint that way, but it's easier for me. All right. Okay. Oh, sure. Yeah, I sure could. Those little dots, colored ones on there, that would be cute too. On the center. Yeah, they sure would. I didn't think of that. If I got the right red or pink to go on there, or maybe even a green. I got a bunch of different colors, I think, up here. I just gotta find them here. But yeah, that would be cute too, right in the center. Sure would. For some reason, I just decided that other day that she needed, when I made that one, I forgot to tell you guys that I thought she needed some, or I thought she needs some earrings, so I put them on there and I liked them. I actually sold those two. I shipped them off earlier in the week. I had a lady buy both of them. I had them listed as a set. But yeah, they turned up cute too. All right. Whoops, what about, I did that one. Good. Now I'm going to move these guys up here. While we do these other candy canes, we'll glue all the final stuff together. So we're going to do these and these. But I think the pink would be cute on there again. I think we should. All right, we got pink here. I'm going to try using my brush this time because these are a little bigger. Let's go every other one. Let's go, let's start at the tips. So the tips are pink. And I could do the lines if I wanted in between these. We'll see if we want to do, I'll decide if I want to do it or not. I should probably use my little brush, but we'll see how this goes. Need more water. I don't know if I want to give these a shading, but I probably should, like we did those other ones. Make them all the same sort of looking, I don't know what you call that, sort of like where the color bleeds in. Or these will probably stick out really funny if we don't. Okay, now we're down here. That gets covered there. A little there, I got them in white, but there we go. I've seen somebody had on Facebook, Hobby Lobby's got Christmas stuff marked down like 60% already. I think it might have been in Chris's group actually, Kate, I saw it, because they were buying that gingerbread house that she made. She made into a countdown. It comes as a countdown from the Hobby Lobby even, but she added her own painting and stuff to it. Shoot. They were buying them up. Somebody had bought like 30 of them. I probably won't. I won't get in there at all. I have no reason to go in. There's nothing I need. Have you been in there at all? Are they still carrying DecoArt, or did they get rid of it? Do you know? All right, now I am going to go to my little brush on here because there's just less room. I'm going to start with my tips again too, with having them pink. Actually, I think quicker with this little brush. I think these would be cute though with the stripe in between them too, and that mint green or whatever you want to call it. I forget the name of it now. I don't know if this shows down here, but I'm going to paint it pink just in case. Oops. I got over a little bit there. Okay. It is still in yours? Had you seen that everybody was saying they were going to quit carrying it? And I had talked to the guy at my Hobby Lobby, and he said he hadn't heard that at all, so it makes you wonder. I went and bought a bunch of it because I thought I'm going to stock up just in case. So I bought almost every color I think they had there, darn near, that I knew I didn't have for sure. And I still ended up with a lot of duplicates. I at one time was going to write down, I had a list of all their colors, and I was going to cross off what I had so I would know, but yeah, right. Okay, I'm going to need some water in this again. It's getting too thick. I'm frozen on your end? Mine are all moving, so I think it must be. Is anybody else frozen? I think it's your computer, Kay. You may have to go out and come back in. Huh. Anybody else is it freezing? I haven't seen it here on mine at all. That's why I said. Whoops. All right. Is it on the whoops? Is it? Okay. Yeah, I think it was just somebody was spreading some stuff that wasn't true is probably what it was. They probably had pretty good sales on their paint in that month. Ours never marked down in price, so I mean, if usually when they're not going to carry something, it gets marked down. And it gets a clearance, you know? But nope, it never did. I only was in there once or twice after I heard that. You're not frozen? Okay. Okay, I think it might be your computer, Kay. Whoops. All right. I think we're good there. Let's do some little lines on there this time. Let's do that green again. Let's see if I can get some. Sort of like the green on there. They get quite green when I put the other color in there, but I hate not to because of the hers is like that in the pink. Oops. Whoops. Oh, oops, I dropped my brush too. Somebody's always got to go oops on me. Here. I always fix what, I don't like it, Amy, I take it off and fix it. That's just how I am. I won't just live with it and not say nothing and just leave it. I have to have it. If I don't like it, I gotta change it. It's just me. Some people I watch them paint and they'll do a line and it's really crooked and they just leave it. I'm thinking, I couldn't do that. Even though I probably should learn to, I can't. Mine are never straight. I never have straight lines anyway. And I do the white lines all the time around stuff, but you look at anybody's. You even look at the paintings in Hobby Lobby. They're never straight. Even, you know, their prints and some of the head. If you actually look at it, you'll notice, I think, a lot. Because once I started actually looking at stuff, I was surprised. It's not as perfect as you think when you're not doing it. If you've never painted, you think it's perfect. But if you do, then you notice it. I think. Anyway, put those there. You know, and, you know, the spacing won't be perfect like you think it is. And, you know, between, like, on these lines, and make them all sure they're all in the same spot and save curved. And you look at something like that in the store, and they're not. Okay. Well, I was surprised once I actually started paying attention, that it wasn't as perfect as I thought it was. That was a bit thicker there, and much more paint. Okay. I'm tempted to just leave these more white than the other ones, but just bring a little bit in on the edges. But I'm going to have to dry these first. Yeah, yep. Yeah, it takes a while. I keep a lot of my data on the cloud now, or on the internet, in my OneDrive. All my files for laser cutting are out there. It's all on OneDrive because it's too much on the computer. I bought a computer with a big hard drive, but I don't want it dogging that down. So I keep all my files out on OneDrive, and it works pretty good. I think I'm not going to use soft green either. I'm going to use a darker green, I think. I'm going to try it. Let's start over here on this outside over here, because this would be where it would be darker anyway. And do them over, like, see, I like that better than how I look at the other ones now. And the inside of this one would be darker. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the whole thing or just around where it be shaded. Yeah, I like that better. I think I'm just going to do these areas that would be darker, which would be the inside of this one and the outside of that one. And we'll do the same thing on here. That don't look too bad. It's too late to do the other ones this way, though. That's okay. And that'd be the inside of this one. Here. Okay. And then I'm gonna put the line down the middle and do a white line on them to make them look like they're glittery or shiny or whatever you want to call it. Let me get a little brush. I'm gonna need a little one and put some white on it. I'll rub it in real good, and then I'll take off what I can on my paper towel here. Dry paper toweling. Let's see what we got. I don't know if we got much. Well, maybe we'll see. I don't think so. I think I'm gonna get more. Maybe I'm taking it all out. I don't want it that thick going on it, so I want this to be pretty faint, actually. I want to be able to see it. There, you can see it. So going right in the middle of it. And let's get a little bit more here up there. The only place you're really going to see it is in the pink, but there I can't see it again. I started rubbing on my hand to see if I can see it or not. Then I'm going to draw a more solid line in between there. Or right down the middle of it, put it that way. There, you can sort of see it. It's not real light, it's not real bright on here, and when you do the red, it's a lot brighter. Here, I can see it. I got a little more on my brush this time. There, like that, I can see. This one's bigger though. Okay. Alright, then I'm going to get that thin line, and I'm going to use that, I'm going to try that thin liner brush we had. Get it good and wet, so I can put some water in my paint here. And I'll just get some white. give it a whirl, see how it looks. And I'm going to make a thin line. I'm going to start about right here. And then I have to pick it up because I can't do the curve like that. I'm going to go, oops, not too much. I probably could use a regular liner brush, but I think I'd be a thicker line than I really want. Just going to run it down. There. Now I have crooked. Jeez, I have crooked on the end. Can't really see it in the white there though, so I'm going to make it down a little bit more in the pink here. There, like that. It sort of gives it a, makes it look like it's really shiny there. How I look at it. Oops. I'll do it on this one too. The other liner brush will hold a lot more paint than this one is. I'm going to make this a little darker here. Try to stay nice and straight like it was, somewhat. Alright, and I need a little bit in this white. I can see it here. Okay, and this one. There, so you can see the line there. Yeah. That one looks cute. I like the color here on this, the pink with the green there. I think that looks really cute. And then we'll do the same here. Let's see. Neat up there a little better. A lot of work for little candy canes, eh? No. But this stuff, I think, makes it look, is what does it to it. Makes it look so much nicer. There. So that's that. This is that piece on his hat. I'm sort of wondering if I should have put some more color in it, like the candy canes. I could have made it striped with white now, you know, a brush stroke, and then a green line in between it might have been cute too, huh? Because it's going to go on the white part of his hat up here. It's just going to be really plain. So I'm thinking, so I think I'm going to try it. I don't know how well it'll turn out, but we're going to give it a whirl. I want a brush that's about the right length to it, but width. So I don't know. Let's try this. Start there and go here. Here. Go here. We have to make these a little thicker. It's going to have to go like that. And like that. I think that'll work. Just give it a little more paint. Okay. This first one should have been a little more angled though. Right here. I think it'll match a lot better with this on it, I'm thinking. Anyway. Get my edges real good so they're nice and straight looking. I'm just slanted here a little bit. Let's see what I can do here. Okay. Oops. This one should have been angled too more. But it don't have to be perfect. I keep telling myself that. Alright, it sort of looks funny now. What do I do here? This guy here, I think it is. Let's see. This one should be over here more too. It should probably just go up this on one side here a little bit. Here and here. That'll look better. It's going to do. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to come back with a few little green stripes now. Here. It will never get done. Here. I want that more down this way, don't I? Maybe shape. Okay, that'll work. Let's see. Try to do the same. Now see, I'm more of a slant over here. That's what it is. I see it now. Alright, I'm going to leave it how it is, I guess. It's not exactly what I pictured. I could use a little more white, though. It's not exactly what I thought I was going to do, but this started off good here. There. I think we're okay here. Yeah, it's here. I can maybe get too slanted over here. Like that, maybe. Maybe it'll be better. I don't know. Here and here, I guess. I'll leave it like that. How it is, it is. But then I'm gonna dry it. I'm gonna go around the I might give it a little bit of color on the bottom side, like a little bit of floating of the green. It'll probably be in, yeah, just on the bottom. Okay. Let's try it. Just gonna go along the bottom side here. Oops, get down there. Right here. Here and here. That'll be good. I'm gonna glue it on. We just gotta do the leaves and we're done. Leaves shouldn't take much. Some glue on here. And the sand, we gotta paint the sand too. And we're done. This is gonna go here. I was gonna say, I hope I did the right bottom side, what I thought was the bottom. Alright, I'm gonna leave this here. Oops, there. Don't look too bad. But it would have been pretty plain if it was just pink on here, I think. Okay, let's get the leaves. We got 2 leaves to do. Little leaves. Was there a separate leaf that went on there? I thought there was. I don't see a separate leaf. That one was, no, it wouldn't have went on there. It would have went on his head. We do have a little more. We gotta do his head. Let's get his head too. We're gonna do the white first before we do the green. We have to do that. Here. I do this top part is gonna be white. I'm gonna do that fairly easy, I think. I'll brush it on here. Nope, I got green in there. Better not. Better not. Give me a towel. I'll use a sponge. I got one here. And then that's where that circle is where peppermint patty sits, so I can get paint there. It doesn't hurt. Just gotta not get it. I don't want to get it where the green is up there. Give that a quick dry. Now let's do the green, and then we'll dry it. We're gonna paint the leaf. We're gonna use desert cactus, I think, first. That's what we did on the other one. It's sort of hard to say. They ended up pretty green, dark green on the other one. For some reason. Maybe these aren't the colors. Oh, these are the colors I used on. This isn't the right colors. His hair would be a little different, I think. I may have to change it a little. Actually, I'll have to have a brighter color. This is not the color I used on these. This is the color I used Wednesday night in the other group. On the candles that we painted. I still haven't taken pictures of. Alright. I'm going to get this is what I want. I want a holly green. Alright, I used a brighter green. I might even use it. This is jewel green. It could have been jewel green. Alright, I'm going to go over it. And we don't have holly. We have it in 2 places, right here and here. Let's do these guys. And I don't have to be too careful again on to how far I go because of the peppermint patty will cover up right in the middle there. These will probably take a couple coats. Hopefully I ain't going over my edges too bad. Okay. Time just flew this year. You know that? It's like, where'd that year go? The whole year, I mean, it just flew. Summer flew. I mean, it just flew. I think the longest part right now will be through March or so, April, when it's cold and wet. But then after that, my goodness, where does time go? You know, it's crazy. I use this other dauber here I got. Let me see if I can use this one. I think so. It was a different green, but I think it'll be okay. I better dry it first before I put too much on there. Let me dry this. That's dry already. But yeah, it's crazy how time just goes. I mean, this month it seems like we just started December and we're already going to be the 20th, you know, real quick here. It's like, wow, Christmas is Thursday. When you're a kid, it just took forever. Forever, it seemed like. A year was a long sinking time. There, that looks pretty good. And then we'll do a little bit of light stuff on the edge, and I think I'm going to use that Hauser green, medium Hauser green or light. Let's see, what one is this? This is Hauser green light. Yeah, that'll work. Get a little bit of that here. And let's see, I'll use a brush, I guess. Here. Better dry it. I know, okay, it sure does. The years just go by so fast. It really makes you start valuing the time you do have. You know, especially with your family and your kids and that, you know. Shoot, the other day I was sitting there working at the computer. I started thinking about my mom. Well, don't you know, before you know it, I'm just bawling. You know. I should have told her this. I should have told her that. I hate that. I do that all the time. It's horrible. But yeah, I know, it makes you think of age and all the rest of it too. It just goes. I'm just going to do around the edges just to give it a little lightening here like that. I'll blend it somewhat. And then I think I'll, this one, just a little, just to give them more of a two-tone or I'm going to put a little white on there yet too. That'll brighten it up a little bit. Let's see. Oops, give me this side. And then we'll do his head here. Oops. Let me turn that too. Get it a little better. And then the white will brighten it up. Here. Okay, now I'm just going to use the same brush and dip into my white, get a little white. Probably get too much. I'm just going to get the very tips. Oops, that was a little more than I wanted. These I want. Let's see. But it can look like snow or whatever. So it's fine. Let's see. There we go. That'll work. Oops. All right, there we go. Are we done, Donna? I think so. I think we are. So we're going to just move some paints here. We'll put them together. Move this stuff over here. We got the eyes done. I think we're done. Whatever, I think of something else. You guys see something, let me know that I forgot. And whoops, knocked her over. Let's put him together. Whoop, she wants to stand there. I got brushes over there. Let's get his bibs on first. I'm going to lift you guys back up so you can see better. So, you know, get a bigger picture here. Let me get this tape out of here because it drives me crazy. Here. I could have done a little shading on the I didn't on her though. I was going to say on the white on the frosting area, but I'm not gonna. Oh, I need one more coat on the head. That I do need. I see it right now. A dry brush. We'll just give a dry coat here. See if it works. I'm almost out of white paint though. Gotta make that a little whiter. Anything else? What, the white pops it out? Yeah, I think so too. On top of those other colors. On the green. I need a little more white. I don't need this anymore. That over there. But I really like the last candy canes we did better than the round ones. I really like how those turned out with just that darker color and not taking the green. Even though I like hers with the pink all the way through it. But I like his too with the just the two colors and a little bit of the one color at the bottom where it would be darker. Alright, when I put him together now this will dry. Alright. It's right there too. There, that should be good. Oops, should be good. Alright. Now let's put them together. We'll start, well, we'll put his little cups on here first. Just swirl it around a little bit. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's come up there. Oops. Okay, that one looks pretty good. I'm going to put this on here first before I put it on there. I like these. I really do. I really like the looks of these candy canes here. Okay. Other way. Oops. Okay. Right there. And it still looks like I could have went a little, let me see. Yeah, I could go, and that's going to come up there. I could get some, I could have put a little bit of white that shows under there. I can move that to stand just like that. So give me a little brush. It's going to be a junk brush because there's probably glue up there. Let me get a junk brush here. I'll use a little finger one. I'll get another. I'll just use one of these makeup nail ones that I had. Get some of that green on there. And I don't like seeing that little bit of white in there. From the candy cane, I want that to be, I suppose it could be the candy cane, but it'll look better just green. So I'm just do that. So it's all green. And then we'll put this on him. I'm just going to go up this part because the tops hang, some of them hang over. Okay, let's see. Right there. There. It looks all covered there. I think that's got to be about right. Okay, give that a second to dry. Let's put this on here. This little hand here goes on top of here. 3 holds. Like this. I gotta put some lines on here. I don't know, maybe I won't. We'll see. Probably will do them later if I want to add them. I put the little, what I didn't do is these little white lines, and I'll do this later, not now when I'm on here. These little white lines, I'm going to put along here. I forgot to do that. And then I did have a line on his hand, and that's it. That's about the only lines I put on him besides for his nose. I did some in his hair, and I may do that too, but I won't do it. I probably won't do it tonight. Because I'll do it you'll see it later. This gets attached right here. Right along this edge. Whoops, that's not glued on there too hot yet. So I'm going to let that glue first. We'll get his bibs on first. That should be on there. Here. A couple little details I'll probably add later, but I'm getting tired, so I got to use the restroom and so forth. So I will do it later. Alright, now I just sort of make sure I get it up to his neck here. And then you want to make, when you put it down, you want to make sure it covers like in the inside, that it's centered right. And that looks pretty good. Just going up to his neck and then putting it down. Okay, and then this piece goes on his hand over here. I wipe it off a little bit because I have too much glue. My towel here. There we go. And I have, let me see it. This piece that comes squiggly like that is at the bottom. It just goes like that. Out in there. Good. And we'll take this one. Rub that in a little bit too. So I don't end up with it all over. Whoops. That's going to go wrong way. Oh, I did do it the wrong way, you guys. I did do it the wrong way. I've got the darker at the top, but that's okay. It's staying. I'm not changing it. I didn't think of looking at that to see how it went on. So I wanted the darker at the bottom, you know, where it would be darker. But I may just go around the whole thing now, seeing I did that. Probably will. I'll just do the whole thing. And we'll put his hand on now. Just going to put some glue right in here. It just goes along this edge here. It just sort of covers up that edge end piece of his arm. I did do it. I'll just shade the bottom too. I'll float it. Thanks, Kay. Thank you. I wish I would have done that right, but that's okay. The other one, I added a few little lines in the swirl here to make it look like layers, so that's what I'll do too. Now let's take, we'll get his butt in for the top. Oops. I could have done these like I did those, but I thought I was going to do the whole thing like this, so that's how these are going to be. You know, with those, unless I'd have to go back and add the white back to them, but I don't think I will. These are just a little different than the rest of the candy canes, which is okay. Here. Press them down in a minute. And here. Is pretty straight? Let me see. A little higher over there, but I think it's okay. That. Alright, then these guys. This one will go here, and this one will go here. Let's put the candy cane things on. But I do like the look of these candy canes better. I really do. I'll show you when we're done, but you have to ask me when I beam you up. You can probably see the difference. Okay, so it's only going to get glue where the white part is. Wipe some off. I want it up high enough so it doesn't interfere with the sand. So it's going to go, I'm going to keep this level there and then put it on. So it ends up at a little bit of an upward angle, but that's how I made it to go, so that it was out of the way. Oops. All right, go here. Oh, we didn't do the stand. That's okay. I'll do that later too. This one here to there. Right there. This one might be a little closer. Okay, we'll let that dry. I'm going to glue the stand together because I only paint the top piece anyway. Oops. There we go. That should a little bit down here yet. There, that should work. Get this done. He's cute though. He looks pretty cute. You just can't see him all though. Like that. But he is cute. He looks pretty cute. I think so too. And if I put her by him, and move him over a little, you can see them both there. Yeah, you can. They're pretty cute next to each other. Now I don't mind his look of his candy canes like that. It just gives them a little difference between them all. And hers are different because hers are red and then a green one. So I guess it's okay. Like that. But I do really like the green we used on him. I like the bibs on here. The color with the blue, I'm just loving it. But you can see that I put this white line around here like that. That'll make this really pop when I do the white lines. And then I'll do one on his hand like I did on her hand here on the inside. And that should be it. Those are about the only lines I added. I added the pocket on her, did lines on her pocket, but I won't on here. I did do white circles in those. If you see that, so I may have to do that on his yet. We just did a light We tried to do what we did on the big ones there, but it didn't work too well with the white. Remember, I couldn't get my circles right. So I ended up going back and changing them. So I'll probably do some kind of circle on them too, but we'll see. I'm not going to do it tonight. Yeah, I drew them on a pencil. That's right. So that's them. I'm going to let him dry before I put him in the stand here. I don't want anything moving on me. So, I'll out for a bit. My mouth is all dry. Just dry as can be. I'm thirsty. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. But, yeah, I think they turned out really cute. I really do. He's probably dry. Let's see. Let's try. Yeah, they're seeing pretty good. But these guys are about 11 inches tall. In size is how big they are. He just needs a stand yet. Can you see him there? Yeah. They're cute. I think they turned out cute. And these guys you could use all year round. I might change them a little bit and make them for Valentine's Day too. And maybe give them hearts. Some kind of hearts to hold or something that's more Valentine's. That would be cute. I think I will do that coming up. And I'll finish his hat up. His hair, his cream on his head up yet. Oh, you guys, I got to tell you this. I'm not making fun of old people because I'm old. But my husband and I, we know you watch those reels now and then. And on Facebook, and we were sitting there watching them. And all of a sudden, I was watching people play games and stuff and Christmas games. And all of a sudden came up these three or four little old ladies. I should say old ladies. They were really all gray. They're probably in their 80s, 90s. So I shouldn't call them old, but you know what I'm saying. They're older than me. But they were playing a game. And it was hilarious. I think it was cheese popcorn or like those round cheese balls that they were using. And then they had like a bib on, the clear plastic bib. And then they had like a shower clear stocking or knit, that wasn't knit, a clear plastic hat on that you see people wear in showers sometimes. You know what I'm talking about? And on the very top of it, they had a big mound of whipping cream. So here they are throwing this popcorn at each other, trying to get it to stick on their heads or they'd have to catch it. And them laughing. I was laughing watching it. I'll tell you that. I was laughing. I thought it was great. It was funny. I could just see me doing that when I was older. When I'm older, I could do it now. It was just hilarious. I laughed pretty hard. Thanks, Kay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, yeah, that was funny. That was funny. So I'm going to get off of here and head downstairs and use the restroom and we'll take a little break. And I'll probably finish these guys up this weekend. So, but yeah, I think you're right. I think they're pretty cute too. But I think they'd be cute for Valentine's Day too. So I might as well make them into that because everybody loves gingerbread, even at Valentine's Day. My lips are so dry. Ugh. So you guys have a fantastic weekend. I thank you all for joining me. It's been fun. And we'll see you again. I don't know about next Friday. No, that's after Christmas. You're not going to see me probably till maybe once before New Year's, but I can't say when. But I'm going to take some time and get some stuff done. I really need to. Really need to around here. And then you'll see me after sometime around there. I'll updates on my page and that. So if you need me, just send me a message through Facebook or Etsy and I'll get back to you and help you out if I can. Otherwise, you guys have a very, 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 very Merry Christmas and enjoy the time off and with your families. I can't wait myself. Enjoy it. It'll be another year till we get to do it again. All right. Good night, everyone. Have a great weekend and have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you all. I love you all and like I said, we'll see you again soon. Good night.